Hey everyone, I'm here today to share a tutorial on how to create this fun little layered Christmas tree that you can use on a layout, card, tag, or a myriad of other things. It's super quick and easy to do and adds some fun dimension to your project. This layout was inspired by this photo of my daughter admiring one of her special ornaments. I started by cutting this Christmas tree out of green cardstock and set it aside. I used the Glitz Design Hello December embellishments for this layout, the giant rhinestones, the bits and pieces, the whatnots, and the 12x12 sticker sheet. I'm using the Chic Tags Good Tidings frost paper for the background. I pulled out a few of the whatnots and I popped the die cut letters out of these two bits here, and I found a few others that I knew I wanted to use, like the word Merry, the wreath, and the car. These bits and pieces are great for project life type pages, but they also work well on other projects too. So I pulled out a few to test which ones might end up working best for this layout. I'm leaning towards placing the green tree on the green 4x6 card. And so I'm going to go ahead and place it there and leave it there for a few minutes to think about it while I set up my title. Now for the title, I use the Merry die cut, and it's going to be the main focus for the title, and then I'll just add the cute little December arrow. And I'm speeding up this part of the video as I place the die cut letters that I popped out of the tags I showed you earlier. Okay, so back to the tree. I ended up changing my mind on the green card under the Christmas tree. The layers that I'm going to add will end up clashing with the green pattern, so now I've tried different colors and patterns and I've landed on this diagonal stripe. I'm going to tuck this pretty wreath behind my photo and just move all of the elements around until I like the placement. And I also tucked a journaling card beneath the wreath. Next, I stepped away for a second to stitch over the wreath. I chose not to stitch it to the layout because I wanted to be able to tuck the journaling card under the wreath, not over it. I placed it over my photo to figure out where I wanted it, remove the photo, and now I'll just adhere it to the layout with liquid glue. I popped up the December arrow and glued the rest of the title down. Next, I stepped away again to stitch over the title and around the wreath, and I'm just going to snip a couple of the stray strands of thread. Now it's time to assemble the tree. I glued the tree to the card right in the center. The tree is really just a guide, and since you're covering it up, it won't really show through. I took a piece of the wood grain cards, cut it to size, and adhered it down as the trunk of the tree. Next, I grabbed my pre-cut and pre-sorted small triangles. You can cut these by hand, or you can download my free cutting file. Starting at the bottom of the tree, I adhered them to the tree, overlapping one over the other. Here's a few tips I'll share. First, I found that it works best to add the two outer sides first and then work inward. Second, you want them to overlap on their sides a lot. If you don't, you'll need a lot more triangles to reach the top and you may not get your desired effect with your layers. Now just keep adding layers, starting at the outer edges and working in towards the middle with each line of triangles you create until you get to the top. Notice that I didn't worry about lining up the stripes. I think it looks better with the stripes going in random directions. And just keep on working, adding more adhesive as needed, adding more layers until you get to the top of the tree. When you're done with all of your layers, I suggest that you turn up the edges of the triangles down on the corners so that you can get a more leafy look to your tree. Next, add rhinestones to the tree to give it a bit more dimension. I ended up adding this red Merry and Bright one to the top. And then I added 3 more sprinkled throughout the tree, one on each layer, a little bit offset from each other. This green striped one, Then I added a brown wood grain one. And then last but not least, the deer head. Now it's time to add the rest of the embellishments. I added a couple of sticker strips to the bottom and then added the photo. Be careful not to add adhesive where you want to have your pocket for your hidden journaling. I used a combo of tape runner and liquid adhesive because I didn't have enough space at the bottom of the photo to use a tape runner. Add your photo to the page. I tucked mine under the tree just slightly and then over the wreath. Okay, so now it's time for the journaling. I've sped it up so you don't have to watch me as I pause here and there to think about what I want to write. And I'll tell you that I ended up running out of space on the front, so I just flipped it over and finished the story on the back. Now it's time to add it underneath my photo in the pocket that I just made. Now every time I pulled the journaling card in and out, it would get hung up on a leaf, so I ended up cutting the bits off that were covered up by the photo. Now it slides easily in and out. So there's just 2 more items to add and then I'm done. I added this little banner using pop dots, being careful not to place it over my journaling card, otherwise I wouldn't be able to pull it in and out. Lastly is a car. I shuffled it around a bit until I found the perfect spot and voila, I'm done. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial today. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.